In this video, we're going to explore how to create a POS screen in JavaScript. And what we're going to do is basically this. This is personally for me, myself, also a big interest because I'm working on a POS system. So let me show you a picture. So I got this picture and I'm getting this from Dribble. As you can see here, I do not own the picture. So this is from a designer. That's the name. However, you can see this looks very, very appealing. So let's examine this picture a bit more, because this is the screen we're going to work on. And if you can see very clearly, I'm going to use Bootstrap. And let's look at this. What do we have here? Basically, you have here a few items. We have this side. And I will just skip this part here. Although I like this design, I'm not sure if this is the most practical one, but it is nice. However, we'll leave this for now. Most important part is we're going to work on the inner. So what we're going to do here, let's explore this a bit more. There are a few things here that are very interesting. They have this separation here, or category, which will be nice, and probably I will move this here up more. I will remove the item code, as this is more designed for a grocery store or a other product or other business, and we're going to focus more on a restaurant where there's limited selection. Let's say there's 10 different drinks, there's 10 different food items to order. So that will be very straightforward. So we can put them all together here, and you can see if we look here carefully, there's like a option to scroll to the left or the right. I will not use that. I will just put them all in here, showing them all. Next, you have this part here. This is, so basically we have this card, or not really a card, sorry, this is a background. This will be the dark background, and then we have the column within there. So this might be here, there's some padding around here, we'll have to see on that. And then in here, this is the card probably 8, and this will be a card column size 4. So it's 8 by 4 in Bootstrap. They have these options here. Probably will not use this option, as you can order, let's say, a drink. You can click on it, and in there we probably will have only the delete option here. Because here above here, this doesn't make sense for deleting this card. What we can do here is just basically put it this is a food order, and remove this delete sign here. You have the total, and then we have here the total and the subtotal. This here will be straightforward. This will be a card as well within here, so that's no problem. That will be a simple one. Alright, so let's start and work first from here. And in here we have this part here, and what we're going to do is we're going to make this background very similar to this, but just using the Bootstrap part. Let's start and explore. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do here, we have this. You can use this here, but you can use also a default design. I'm going to delete everything here now. So basically we have a default, and this is later on for the JavaScript, but we can remove that for now. I have here the Bootstrap 5. You can use Bootstrap 5 as well, which I recommend. Just get the starter template and paste it in here. Once you have the starter template, we can start to work on it. And I'm going to remove this here because this doesn't make any sense. So what are we going to do here? The first thing what we're going to do here is to create a background here, like that. So what we're going to do now is create here a background, bg dark, and within here we can put in our next div, and in this div we have the row, and within this row what we will have here is the first column here, which column will be a column 8, and this will be a column 4. And we might adjust it if necessary, but we will keep that for now. So we say here, div class column 8, and maybe we can do this here with, if it's in small, then maybe we start at column 8, and if it's extra small, or if it's like mobile size, there should be no columns at the moment, or at least it will be full width. However, we'll see on that. So what we're going to do now is the next one, div class column 4 Alright, let's say here small as well. We'll figure out that later on. That's right now not important. So once we have this here, you can see here we have nothing at all yet. Okay, that's no problem. You say here width, height 100. Alright, let's double check here what's going on. We have our body, and I was expecting at least some design here. Somehow, of course, we have nothing yet, so there's nothing to put in here. Let's say test, and it as well, test. Alright, so we have something here now. Now we have the first design layer. What we're going to do now is putting here another design. As you can see here, this has a background color of BG light, probably a light gray design, so we can do it here, BG light. Alright, we have this here. We might need to do something with the design overall, so we can put in here a padding. We say padding 3, that's probably more than enough. Alright, save. Oh, and then here refresh. Alright, we're getting now some shape. It's not that fancy yet, do not worry about that. So what we need to do here now is basically open up Bootstrap. I'm going to open up Bootstrap. So once you have your Bootstrap here, let's get started and let's look here. What are we going to do? Well, first things here, what do we have here? We have this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put in the cards, and we also have these tabs here. We're going to put the tabs on top here, and we're going to give us a name. Let's say order number, whatever the number would be. We can put it in, let's see here, that would be in this part here. So we say here order number 88, and then there is a date here, so we can say here today. Let's copy this design here. Oh. Alright, let's copy the design. Monday. Alright, so that could be small text. Today, and then what do you have here? 20. I'll just copy something here. 20 March 2021, etc., etc. Is there? And we should have time. And then maybe here, well, how did we put the time in here? Comma, and then alright. Simple. 0 to 4 p.m. Alright, we've got this now. Refresh. We have this here. We have to eventually move this there, but that will be later on. That's not a problem. Although right now it is small, and maybe we can say here text light. Oh, it's too much. Probably we have to do text muted. That's fine. Alright, save this. There we are. So we have one part later, and we're going to move that to the right. That doesn't matter so much for now. What we are going to do is the following here. Let's double check here. We have this. We need to put in this part here above. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to look here, and we're going to look here for tabs. Is it the accordion? No, we are looking for tabs. Navbar and tabs. Alright, that's fine. This is the one we need. And here the only thing that I want to get here is the following. If you have this, as you can see, this is the one we need. You can copy all of this, or just copy this. And then what we're going to do here is basically connecting this part here. So what we're going to do here, let's look really carefully. When we click on this, this part should be adjusted. And when we click on this, this part should be adjusted. So that's the only thing what we want to pinpoint on. So we're going here, before or below this order number, to make sure we are here. Alright. So in here, we have this huge tab. Alright. Let's save this. Go back here, refresh. And as we press here, something happens. You might not see it yet. Let's put in here. This is, let's say here, food, drink, and the other we don't need. We only have two options. So we say here also drink pill drink, alright, and then this is here as well, drink. This is food, food. Remove this one. This is obsolete because we remove the other tab button as well. And then in here we have the profile, what it would be the drink tab. And here we have drink and another drink. And then another one would be food. I'll just copy this. Food, food, food. Alright. Presentation, active, food. Alright. There you are. So now once we click on it, you can see this works perfectly. So now what we have to do is, we can fine tune this a little bit. And how we're going to fine tune this here. So what we're going to do here, basically, if you look at this part here, these are basically not really buttons. It's basically an image in here. Well, it's a button with an image in here. And that is on this part here. And we say food. And this is drink. Alright. Save this. Go back. Here we are. But we want to have this a nice button. Can we put in an image? Now we can put an image here. I just have no demo image, so I will leave that for now. It's just to get this ready. Alright. What we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the card structure here. And what we need is here in Bootstrap card. So we're going to scroll down here, and somewhere down there are card styles, if I'm not mistaken, card layout, and the card groups. Yes. If we look here, all right, this is the one we need. This is a card grid, forcing cards into a shape, and where we can indicate how many cards per column. If you look at this one, we have 4 cards per column. We can maintain that one. So we're going to do that exactly in Bootstrap. I'm going to copy this. Alright, so once we copy this, we're going to put in 4 cards per column in this tab pane here. Make sure that's in this tab pane. Alright. Save this. Put it in here. Alright. Now we say instead of having 2 cards, we're going to put in 4 cards. So once we have this, save, refresh. Alright, so we have something here that works. And what we can do is, for example, if we want to copy this piece of code, I'll just put it in here for now. So we have a sample image. Once we do the sample image, the image will match itself into the shape, which is perfect. Did it work? It did not work, sorry. Of course, we need to copy the image address here. So I'm going to undo my image, and then I just save now the image that we copied. So once we did this, we can save this. Go back here. Alright, you can see now we start to get something. We have something here. And then you will notice, if you really look carefully, you will notice that there's some parts missing here on the design, which is here, probably here. If we do the margin, we say margin x 0, you can see now we get the black lines around it again perfectly. Alright, so that's what we are going to do. So we're going to remove that one. Where are we? In the rows. Alright. Margin x 0, so the margins on the side will be removed. We refresh. Now this looks exactly what you want. Doesn't match yet the things, but that does not matter for now. So then here basically what we want to do is this. We have the Bootstrap design now almost done. What we want to do later on is when we click on this, it should show up here. So we have here this item, we have the image. Let's give it some names here. So we will look at the design here. And having only the the word of the product, that will be more than enough for now. So we're going to remove all of these, remove all the paragraph tags, and once we did that, we're going to put in the name of the item. Alright, so we can put in here, just make up some names. I would say here, this is food, let's say pizza 4, this will be pizza 3, then pizza 2, and pizza 1. So imagine if we would have more items, you will see, because we have the column design fixed on 4 width, it would mean that the others will be below. So the pizza 5 and pizza 6 would be below on the list here, as you can see. Alright, so this is exactly what we want. What we want to do now is just give it here. This here we want to give here a padding top, or at least for the black line here. So we go to the row, or sorry, padding bottom. Padding at the bottom here should have some space. So we say here on the row, padding bottom 3. Alright, refresh, there we are. Now we have some space. We can even do a top if we want to do as well. Maybe that would be good, so we can say padding Y. There we are. So now we've got this, and what we can do now is, let's check here. There is some space between each as well. We can even do that. And we say here, oh well, this can be a paragraph probably then. Just move that to a paragraph. There we are. This could be maybe also, if we want to have a design, we can put it in a proper design. Alright, so now we have this, and you can see it looks nice, everything looks fine. Now what we can do, we can probably put here a box. We can see how we can do that one here. And let's put in here a div. That's probably a card, class card. And then we will close that div here and see how that works. Alright, that start to work nice. The only thing what we want to do here is maybe we can give it a class. There's 2 ways we can put a div class card body, or we put in just margin and pixels here. Maybe that would be even better. What I will do here, just let's see here. That looks almost fine. What happened here, why is this? Probably because of the unordered list. It gives here a margin bottom. Oh, that's what we added here. So if you remove this will be fine, as you can see here. Alright, we did this one. This is fine. Then what we want to do here is probably on the card, margin bottom 3. Refresh this. Alright, so now we have this part done. So we are here now. Now we're going to explore the other one. Maybe we can do here rounded corners. Let's say here border. Let's try borders. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a radius, border radius rounded. So let's see here. That's this one here, border radius. You can see here rounded. This is probably the one we need. Rounded pill design. That's the one we need. Put in here, we give our card, because the card has the border, so that's the one we want. Let's save this. Go back here. Not exactly, but I would say I'll accept that for now. Maybe we can do a bit more better rounded. What are nicer rounded? Do they have sizes? Rounded 1, 2, and 3. They do have like these sizes here. Maybe that is slightly better. If I look here one more time, we can make it like that. This should be a bit more appropriate. It will be not that strong, but it's very acceptable. If I save this now here, refresh, we have like these. That's almost similar. So for now, I'll just leave it. I'm sure that there's a stronger, probably, if I'm not mistaken here, this will be probably like 20 pixel border radius, but that's alright. We'll not spend much time on that for now. What we're going to do now is the following here. We have pizza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What we can do now is, well, we can add up the next item. Instead of pizza, there will be a drink. And right now you can see there is no drinks. Alright. So what we're going to do here, we have this and we have these rows here. And basically we can copy this and put it in here. So here's the drinks. And what we're going to do here, I do realize here, if we just refresh, we have like this. You can see here, do we have, here there's not indicating as well. This part here, that's alright, we'll ignore that. There's not indicating it's food. And the reason why it's not indicating, because it assumes that when you click on this, you already know the category. So here as well, we could put here under food as well, but maybe it's redundant because we already have this. So that will be acceptable. So we'll leave it for now. What I'm going to copy here is this item here. Let me double check. This is the one. Alright, you can see here right now, this is the div here, and then after we're going to close it. So what we're going to do here is, this is the text of that part, here's the part we have to work with. Alright, so we're going to put in this, and you can see we're missing a div here, which is correct, because now we're going to put that one in here. Here we can do Coke. Let's say this is Coke. You can do a different size bottle of Coke, or let's say here water. Vitamin water. Yeah, I'm just making up stuff, but I want to have just some healthy alternatives instead of always having the standard Coke, 7-Up, Sprite, etc., etc. All the sugary drinks. Let's try something drinks. With this orange juice. Alright, that should be more than enough for now. Once we oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to refresh. Once we refresh this, we click here. We have now the options here. You can see right now this is increasing in size. So what we can do here is, for example, we put in text truncate. So we will cut it. Truncate or truncated. Let's double check. And we click on this text truncate. Alright, so you can see here, you can do it like that. Maybe you don't want that, or maybe you want to make sure this is readable, which I understand. You can make this smaller as well. See what happened here. Might be an option as well. Just check what you prefer. For usability, it would probably make more sense to not truncate it, especially if you are on a POS system. Main reason is, for POS system, people need to read the full name, especially if there's like an item that says fruit juice or orange juice half liter, other one is 250 ml, other one is a cup, 1 ounce, small cup, medium, large, whatever. All these kind of things. So you might want to have this full, but of course in that case you need to figure out the design and make this consistent in height. That will be, Bootstrap has this option as well. For now I will not spend too much time on that. I'll just put this back here to that truncated. I'll truncate it for now, just for the design, for the aesthetics they call that. However, here is very important. This is a very important part with a POS. A POS is basically used to communicate with customers and make sure that customers don't wait too long. If a cashier has to search or figure out if this is really the right item, it means that the cashier will be slowed down with a few seconds. And this would mean that the customer will be unhappy with the experience because you have to wait longer. And you might say, well, if they wait 2 seconds longer, it's fine. But imagine you have 100 customers a day. And every day you need to wait for every specific item 1 or 2 seconds more. Customers will, well, you'll be delayed. It means you slow down your entire process. Every second might matter. Well, in a restaurant, it's lesser. If you're in a grocery store, well, you know, grocery stores, people don't want to wait long. And we do wait easily 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how busy the grocery store is. So with this, make sure you think from the customer experience point of view, and also with the limitations a cashier has. The cashier wants to talk to the customer and wants to serve the customer well. Pressing on a POS system is basically a distraction from the customer. If the customer would have a question and the cashier is working on their POS, clicking on it, they are distracted, right? At that moment, they cannot serve the customer because they're pressing the buttons. So if they have to figure out where to press, and it takes too much time, you get the point. That doesn't work. All right. So that's a bit of the user friendliness or usability UX on POS. So now we have these things here, and I think this is fine. I would eventually figure out how to make sure that this is a full width, so we don't have this ugly line here moving up and down all the time. But that's later on. We'll figure that one out. What I want to do now is I want to go here on this side, which will be eventually the cart or the order part. And in here, we're going to create this. We're going to create a cart. And not cart this, but C-A-R-D, a cart, bootstrap cart. Yes, a bootstrap cart like this. But then here, big size here. And then this could be also what you call a kitchen sink design. So we have the cart body here, and then the next body. And then every time we click on one of those items, if we click on the apple, it shows here. So we should have here, when we click on something, it should be shown there. All right. So let's go and explore that one now, and that's this part here. So in here, I'm going to create a cart, div class cart equals cart, and then in here, we will have a new div class cart body. Simple as that. Oh, yes, cart body, not body cart, cart body. And then in here, we can say here order. The order, and then I'm not sure if they have any. No, there's no things here, so there's only order. All right, so we're going to put in order. Probably here you can say H5 as well, make it a big one, that's fine. And then what we have more is we have the first one here. Maybe what we can do is instead of cart body or putting more carts in here, we just make it HR line. Let's save this. All right, so we got the order here. What I want to do then is basically add up the item here. What you see here immediately, and I realize as well, this is not correct. We're missing stuff. You can see it immediately in this design. While the design is good, what is missing? I figured out that if you really look carefully, we're missing the price. How much is the product? You want to click on that, and then we want to show that. Yes. The reason why you want to see the price and not here when you click on it, if the customer says, oh, how much is pizza ABC or how much is pizza 1? And you say, I'm sorry, we don't know, or you have to press on it to check. And once you press on it, you figure, okay, that's the price. Then you have to delete it again. Doesn't work. You say, oh, no, I want something else. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to add up the price here. So should the price be big or should the title be big? Well, basically, both should have a certain appearance or be shown prominently. However, I believe, especially if you have a picture already, the picture would help you communicate already what the product is with the text as an add-on. I have read some of these POS designs, they say remove pictures. The reason why sometimes you have items that are very hard to see the difference. Let's say this, and this is a good point as well, you consider that as well. Let's say someone says, well, you have Coke small, Coke medium, Coke large, and Coke extra large. If you have different items here, it would be harder to distinguish what it is. So of course the text would be more beneficial in that case, because you will see the size of the Coke in text, because the picture itself will not show much, because if it's large, medium, or small, you will make pictures of the same item basically, and it's very hard to see. The picture could be cropped into smaller or larger, whatever. And also, this is another point as well, if you have a database and you have no access to the database and some big company has the access, if there would be a new updated design, let's say Coke have a new logo or new design, or for example they switch from to new type of cup or a new type of bottle for Coke. At that moment the design is different than what you have in store. Imagine in store you have blue design, and on the picture it is the old outdated version of it in red, for example. I have no idea, I'm just saying words, but you get my point. We're going to that. So if you have like a pizza, and say that pizza has a new design where it has another design on it, same story, trying to match it. So this is the reason why some companies try to avoid any pictures. Well, pictures are stronger in visual helps you. All right, so what we're going to do here is, all right, and enough talking here. We're going to add up here the price. What I'm going to do here, I will say font weight, font weight bold. If I'm not mistaken, it's become now like this. Let's say font weight bold, and then we say here $9.99. All right, that's expensive Coke, but that's all right for now. All right, so that's $9.99. Maybe we can make this just a paragraph. I realize maybe that would be better. Make this a paragraph, and then we say cart text. Cart text to avoid the margin bottom. Cart text. It's okay for now. Right now, the most important part of where I'm really focused on is basically the numbers. All right, click on this. Once we click on that, we have here the effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to work now with JavaScript to get the design ready here. So, and then what we have to do here first is to get a sample here. All right, how will we make this sample? Well, probably the best way is to do it in a unordered list. And then in this unordered list, we have a list item, and then we say here Coke, and we can put in here the price. Let's say here span, and in this span we're going to put in class text warning or text danger. We make it red, and then we say here 9.99. That's a very expensive Coke. That doesn't make sense. I'll just adjust the numbers here. The pizza could be $9.99, $2 for a Coke. That will be fine. All right, so you see this here. We have this here. Let's look at our things. We have. All right, you can see here what they do have nicely is this. That's all right. So what we can do is we can maybe put a picture here. There would be a media, if I'm not mistaken. So let's click here on media. Media queries, media minwax. So let's see. Do we have here? Oh, that doesn't show. Components. Media. Well, what we can do is we can do an image. That would be fine. Alright, so then instead of that, we'll make a small mini image here in the item. It's an image. In class, we'll have to see what will be the class, and then we have this image, and then we have source. Let's copy this for now. Let's see what happens if we do this. Oh, alright, you can see here now. We're going to force a max height and width. Alright, so right now here, most likely, we have to see how we will force that properly. If I say width 25. Alright, that looks slightly better. Not 100% to be honest. I will probably put this here instead of a width 25. Let's say a style. Then we say width 50 pixels. There we are. Maybe later on we have to check with the item, see how that looks like. So then we have this, we have the Coke. Alright, we just put in here. Well, I can put in a span here just to make this a bit more easier. So we have this here, span. Then we say here class list on style. So we remove the item here. We can check here what can we do more. Eventually you should have a button here. We'll work on that later on. But this would be approximately. So the moment we click, it shows here. Alright, so let's start and work on our cards or our IDs here. So what we're going to do is the following first. What we're going to do here is create a script for JavaScript. And then what we need to do is here, we're going to append child. So the moment we have an item we will click, we will have to append the child. Then we just have to see how we will append this in multiples. Alright, so we say here, what are we going to do? Well, let me explain. The moment we click on this, we're going to put this in here. So how are we going to do that? Well, we have to have this design here by default. or more specifically this design here. So we're going to check here. Alright, and then what are we going to do here? And where are we going to insert it? We're going to insert it in this UL, yeah, the unordered list. This unordered list, I'll give it the ID. And then we can, if this unordered list, what is this? If this is the cart, we can call it the product or non-product order list. Well, that's probably a good one. An unordered list, but ordered list in this case, because it's the list that customers order. Yes. So don't get confused. This is nothing about OL in the tag. So this is the list, the order list that the customer order list, something like that. You can give it anything you prefer. So we say here constant. We're going to give it a constant, and then we say here order list equals document dot get element by ID. Put in this part here. All right. So we have this part. Now we have this, and now we say here this should be triggered eventually by a function. So we're going to make a function here, and this function will be the order list. Let's call the order basket, our basket for the order, what the customer orders. That's basically where we have to work from. All right. So we get this here. We're going to insert it eventually here. So what are we going to insert here? Or what are we going to create? So basically it's this. The moment we click on any of these items, we want to add a new list item here, as you can see. So we're going to do this. So we say here another constant, and this is the list order item. Yes. And this order item is basically the list item in here. So we say here document dot create element. We're going to create a list item, li. And this list item will or should be appended to the parent. So this is the connected to here. So we say here order list. What we want to do is we want to add the following, or append. Append means to attach. Attach the child. So this is the I want to say father, but it's the parent because it's male or female, we don't know. So this is the parent, and the child will be attached to that. And what is the child name? In this case, it's order item. All right. So this is basically the first step, but we only add up here an empty item. What I want to do now is let's add up some text. Yeah. So we say here const, and here we'll say order item name equals. This would be the text, and then we say here document dot create text note. This is basically the command to create the text, and we will say here, I'll say pizza 1 test, and this, of course. So let me break it down for you so you have an understanding here. I'm going to say here add a text to li, right? That makes sense. This one here, create the li tag. Then here down, attach or append. So you now understand why it's called append. The li of a li tag, which is the child, to parent order list, which is this one that we created here. This is why we have this one. Order list or to ID equal order list. All right, so that's what we really did here. So if we will do this, and then what we can do is, for example, we say on pizza. All right, what I'm going to do is I go to pizza 1. And now here, the moment we click on this, we say here on click. And then we say here order list. All right. So when we say on click, it should trigger order basket, not order list, but order basket. It's the function. It should trigger this function here. So go back here. Sorry. Save this. Refresh. And now if you do this, let's see if we see something. I don't see anything here. Oh, unexpected syntax error. Let's see here. All right, we don't have, of course, we have all of these. I had this one in here. Don't show this yet. Let's hide this. No errors. We still get error. What is our error for now? Order basket. Create. Sorry. I'm creating the text node, but should be small. This should be small. This one capitalized. Alright, pay attention to that. Sorry about this. Alright, I think now we are done. Yes, there we are. Let's double check here if we really see something, because I don't see anything. Alright, we have this. Alright, it works, but I didn't add the text here. So let's check why we didn't add the text. So we add the text to the li. Am I correct? Oh, no, we did not. Sorry, we did not. We only created the text. We created the text. Sorry, this is created. The text. Created the text node. Basically, the text that's supposed to go in there, but we didn't append the text. Yes? So what this means is the item order dot append child, what we just did to connect the li to the ul tag with this ID. Now we of course need to connect these together, which is the text. So we say item order. So we say here attach the pizza text to the li tag. Alright, so that's the reason why it didn't work. Sorry about that. And now if you press on this, there we are. Alright, we've got this now. You can see here now that took some while, and we have a lot of items here. So order basket. What we need to do more, of course, is adding the image. Yes, and now we have here a hard-coded one, and I don't want this hard-coded. So we're going to get here the solution very soon. So let me show you what's the solution. Alright, we've got this here on click basket, and what I'm going to do here is we want to have this here. Alright, this would indicate that this function will have this piece of text in here. Alright, so then we can say here order basket. And what is the order basket? We'll say here item name. Alright, and you can see here, what is this? Maybe do we need anything like that? Oh, sorry, it's not necessary because this is a variable. Alright, so this is the item name. What is the item name? Well, that's this one here. Click on this, save. As you can see, this works. Oh, we have to double check here. I think I deleted something here without knowing. But you can see now this works. And if you click on this one later on, we're going to connect the same function, then you will see pizza number 2 coming. Alright, so let's go back here to our pizza 1. Pizza 1. And we can do the same here. We're going to click this, put it here, pizza 2. And of course, you can do here more things. So we can do here as well the price. What would be the price here? Let's say this would be, well, I will not put in the dollar amount. Yes, I want just numbers. Nice. So we say here, this will be $5.99. And here I have a comma, and this will be $4.99. This is a special pizza promo. That's a very good deal. And then everything else will be, we just adjust them as we go. So we put in here, next, this will be $7.99. This is pizza 3. We have another pizza here, pizza number 4. Pizza number 4 will be $8.99. Pizza number 5 will also be $8.99. And now we only just maintain our $8.99. But we will just put in the number here, pizza 5. 6 is $8.99. And then now next here we go same, but then for the drinks. Alright, so we say here instead of pizza, this will be Coke. $1.99. Another one here will be water, which is very good. Also $1.99, and then this is water. Oh, I just copied something unattendedly, so let me do this again. Then we go here back, and this is the vitamin water. This is $2.50 or $2.49, that's fine. Well, we have more. The final one is orange juice, very healthy. Orange juice. and that is also 299. Alright, that's freshly squeezed orange juice. There we are. So now if we do this, you will see we're not yet complete, but you can see we have something here. But if you press this, oh, am I correct? Yeah, there we are. So if I press this, whatever I want, I do notice that there's something happening. If I press, it takes some time. Let me double check one more time. If I press this, it's fine. If I press this, okay. If I go here to drink, oh, alright. I guess my computer had to load properly. There we are. So now we have this, but we are missing the price. So we say item price. Now we have item price, so we can copy that as well. So we say here the following: constant order item name and then order item price is item price. Yes, and what we're going to do now is what we just did basically with the li tag here. What we're going to attach as well is, so I say here, create a text node with item name and item price, right? So now you figured out that we're doing the double. Now I have also the price you want to indicate, and of course you can figure out then if item name, item price. You probably figure out how do we do the item image later on. We're going to do that as well. All right. So we got this. Attach the pizza tag or for item name tag to li. Item name tag and item price. Alright, so that's the one we're going to do. Oh, semicolon here, make sure that's so it looks more organized. So then we get here, we say order item. Oh wait, let's see, is this the right one? We have to create, then we say order item, this is the, yeah, alright, that's correct. Order item and item name, yes. Sorry, that's correct, we just copy this. And then we say here item name price, or we can copy this, there we go. Let's save this. Refresh, and now if we press, there we are. Am I correct? We're going to the pricing. Did I do anything wrong with the pricing? Are we missing something? Ah, of course. You can see here, this is pizza 1, 2, 3, 4. This is pizza 1. Yeah. Alright, what we need to do is we need to make space between there. So what I'm going to do is here, let's go in here. We're not yet done. What we need to do here is basically add up the item here. So what we can do, this is probably even easier because you see this here, but let's concatenate them. Alright, concatenation basically means to merge together. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge some text together. So we say here, with it plus, and what we're going to do is space, because this is the reason why it's starting to become very confusing, and then we add item price. So we can do a space here. Let's double check what's the design. Alright, they show here, and then we need of course the dollar sign. So we have a space, let's put in a dollar sign and then another space. Yeah, so dollar sign here, space. Alright, once we did that, we can save this. We appended them together, or sorry, we attach them together, or not attach, sorry, concatenate them, so merge them together. If we press this now, oh, there's something going on that is not working. Alright, let's double check here. Alright, that's our item here. We have this. Let's see, why is this not working? We should concatenate them. It's supposed to work. Let's double check here. We have an issue here. Alright. I am not sure why. We should have plus plus. This is things. Are we allowed to use symbols? Alright, sadly enough, one parameter is not allowed. Append child, execute append child. Well, what about if we say test? Text. Alright, doesn't work. Sorry about this. I was hoping this would work. I know it worked last time, so I'm probably doing something wrong. We'll figure it out later on. Or we can even do it in here probably. Well, let's double check. We can do that. let's try something like that. Let me say here append. Let me say plus. Let me say another plus. And a dollar sign. And let me say here item price. And then we can just comment out this and comment out this one and see if this works. If this works, well, we're good to go. Alright, there you are, we're good to go. So that's probably what we want. We're not allowed to append text, merging text together, but we have to do it in the text node itself. Sorry about this, I should have known that better. Alright, so now you can see here we have this one, looks very nice. What we want to do is probably make this nice red. So we're going to remove all of this, and I'm going to remove this access code, and then we're going to check here. And what we're going to do now here is we're going to give this a class name here, or specifically this one. And now this will be slightly challenged, of course, because what we have now, I realize here, we need to add up a span here. So basically this should be eventually independent, because this it should be a span tag, and this span tag can be targeted with a color. Alright, so we are going, basically what I tried to do was fine, but not allowed. And the reason why it's not allowed is because what I need will not work in here. So sorry about this. So basically we spent a lot of time for no reason. Apologies for that. Alright, so what we're going to do here now is this, and then we say, and this is basically how programming works. You make mistakes consistently and then you fine tune them. This is why this is fun, but also challenging. Alright, so we got this here, and then we say here, what we're going to do here, adjust text color to text danger, which is a red color. Alright, so in here what we can do is the following. We say here we have this text node. What we need to do is we need to insert a new span here. So what we're going to do here is this. We need to make this part, well, this is fine, but this text node must not be incorporated into the order item. Oh, let's remove that one. In the order item, we need to create a span here. So I'm going to create a span. So you will understand why, because if I do the background color, it must be pinpointed on the span. And if we just check our text here, I already created the spans here. I just didn't follow through with what I'm doing, which is very bad. Alright? So this one here, we create these, we can maintain this here. And then here what I want to do is I want to create a new item. Create the li tag. No, this one is create a span for red color. That's what I'm going to do. So we say here span, and this is order order item price span. Alright, so we have that, so we know that. So that these two are connected with each other. So now what we do is we say here the span dot class name. Which class name do we want to add up here? Sorry, then we have to do equal, and then like this. Then we say here text danger for red. Alright, so we've got that. And then what we're going to do is the following. We see here ordered item this. Well, what we need to do now is differently. I'm going to show you. We first need to insert the text into the span that we created here. And this eventually should be included in here. Alright, so what we did here now is add price text node into span. Alright, you got this one, right? And then what we do here, attach the span, this one, span into li tag. And then what we do is here, we say this dot append. Oh, sorry, no, not that one. This is not the one. We say order item, because this is the list item here. Order item append child. And what is the child name? It's this one here we just created. Semicolon, space. Alright. And now we have everything what we need. Let's double check here. There we are. So I hope you could follow along with this one. This is very important. It was a slightly tough one. This is quite tough. Last one is the item, which will be the final one. And it's a quite long list already here. As you can see. What I want to do here is I have to figure out how we can reorganize it. But this is basically the last part. It's only one function. What you have to do is one function should do only one function. Although this one function somehow has 3 items in it that we included. So we say here image. I'll just say image section, and then in here we get the image name. And how do we get the image name? We can do it here. Image. Item image. Alright. So how do we get that one? Well, basically here. Item image. Oh no, sorry, this is a text node. So step 1 is step 1, let's say here. Step 1, all similar, add text node. Oh no, first add image. Yes, we're going to add the image tag, and the image tag will have a source, so that will be a tough one. So we want to have the source connected to the image. So add image tag. So we say here the following. Well, let's start to explore. The text node will eventually be this part here where we get the text, or then we have to just explore how we do it for the image. So let's start and explore. I will explore it first, and then I will get back to you. Alright, so I just quickly checked and I realized that it's not that complicated. You can see here it's image.source, so it's the .source, and then you put the URL in here. So what we're going to do is here, first we're going to create an image tag. And this image tag, we can call it, we have the item order name. Where is this one? The item order name price. What we do is here, the item order name image tag, which is, let's say here const, this is document.create element, and that is a image tag. Alright, and then what we can do is the following. We can just say this. Maybe this is easier as well. I think we can even refactor a lot of our coding here. Then we say here we will assign the source to image. And what is our source? This is our source, the image item. Let's see if this will work. So we will say here the image item tag dot source equals the variable that is built in there, of course. And then finally we will say here append child to list item. Alright, and then of course depending on our order, so let's look here at our order. You can see here, this is the order, first the image, then the text, and then this one, and probably this needs to be in a span as well. If this is not in a span, it might overrule the image first. Yeah, so what that would mean that the code comes before the image. For now, that's fine. Then after that we will just reassemble and reorganize the text here. So what we're going to do is the following here. It is this. Let's see here. We have this append child. So we say here order list. Now we say here dot append child. And what are we going to append? Well, basically image item. Or we have this here. You can say here the image tag. Save this. Alright, refresh and let's see what's going on. Alright, so something happens, but not exactly as expected. Failed to load. Why is it? It's undefined. Alright, sadly enough, this is undefined. Okay, it looks for the file. Probably have a hard time to search for the source. What is then the piece of code that we're using that somehow is not working as expected? That will be a good question. I will just remove this. You see here source undefined. Alright, why is this undefined? Source. Alright, what we need to do then probably, what I try to do it like that, I'm not sure if this is possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test with a console log. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I want to check if it can read this item name. If it cannot read this item name, I know what I'm trying to do is not possible, and refactoring on that level would not be possible. Alright, so let me click here on the console log. If I press this, alright, you can see here what's doing. It's looking for a source, and it cannot find this source. So item name source is looking for a local item on my computer instead of looking for this, which is a pity. But that would mean that we need to double check here how we can convert this then. Source, and why is it not working as I was expecting it to work? Because basically this should be copy. Oh, alright, sorry, I realize now we have a mistake here. And that's the reason why. We didn't have any value here. So that means that I was correct in what I'm doing. I just didn't know. We forgot the item itself. Alright, so that's it. Sorry about this. This is also for me a quite challenging task, as I'm currently working on creating a nice POS system. You can see now I'm learning this step by step as I go, and I hope you're also seeing and learning at the same time. So I'm going to paste these in here. And once we paste them all in here, then we have a defined variable. Once we have a defined variable, it should work as, okay, starts to work, but you can see here we have an issue. And our issue is the width. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to create a width. And oh, I see here, why is this double? Don't need that. But what's our width in our current design? The image, double check. Oh, you can see here there's too many dots here. We just make sure that we solve this one. We had here a design, if I'm not mistaken, oh, it's here down, sorry, I'm looking for this part here where we force the width. What I will do here now, right now, I'll just give it a class W25 for now. I know that this is not the most perfect one, but probably the best for now. So what we're going to do here, we're going to give it a class name. So this works already. Say here, class name W25 for image. Alright. Then we say here dot class name equals W25. Save this. Now refresh. If I press here, there we are. Alright, so we're now basically ready with this. We can make still some nice designs on this. I'll work on that later on. So what we need to do next is basically, because let's look at it. If we look at our screen here, you see these items, we see the total here. When we click on this, we need to make sure we create what we call an array. Yes, and what does the array do? Basically tracks what we order and then eventually create a summary here. What we also need to do is probably here force a scroll. And the main reason is you want to see the checkout and the total sum. You don't want the person to scroll. What you can do is, of course, let them scroll through here. Is that good? Yes or no? I am not 100% certain. What is the most user-friendly way? Having scrolled, it means you're delaying yourself, or you're delaying the cashier. So you have to research. That's what I'm researching that currently as well. Should I have a scroll in here or completely? Or should I just minimize the text so much that, and then remove all these icons here, just to show only the text, so you can just put in as many text as possible. Alright, however, whatever we do doesn't matter for now. Alright, so in here what we can do is basically this. We have the array function. We have the array, make a const is the array. Let's say here order array. I'm just going to give this order array, and this will just mean blank. It's blank, and the reason why it's blank is simply because there's nothing in here yet. The moment we click, what we want to do is we want to add values in the array. And eventually we need to reorganize this and restructure this as well into a proper array. However, let's start with the basics. So we say here this. What we do here is we're going to push in the array. So we say push dot order array. We put in these items here. Alright. So once we do that, and then we say here, I'm now questioning if it's like this or the other way around. Let's double test this, see if I'm correct. Let's go back here, refresh. Do we get an error? No. If I press on this, we get an error. Push is not defined. Alright, fair enough. Sorry about this. I was already thinking it should be at the other way around, like this. So we push, and then we say your order array dot length. So if you like these kind of videos about array, check out my other videos on this, because I cover these kind of items as well. Then we say here two things: console.log order array length. So you can see that we should have now a length of 3. And then here we can say as well console.log and an order array, and the order array is this one. There we are. Refresh. Once we refresh, press the button. Do we get a console log? I'm not sure. There we are. You can see it gets it. It says 3 items here. Alright. So with this, we can also count the item amount here. So what we say here is we have this. At the moment we press on this as well, we can do another function within. Or we make a new function, and this function will eventually say the following. We will say here, this is the order array length. And then we say order array length, and then this could be the order array. I'm not sure what's the proper term for it, because what we really want to do here is basically show here the subtotal, or maybe we can say your subtotal of total items. And then the total items is eventually a function, and this is the function I will have to research a bit more. But what we can do for now is we could say here we're going to make a subtotal or a total. Let's give this here. That will be somewhere here. And then we say here this will be a paragraph class. Oh, we can say here big, because I want to make this a big font. And this will be card text, but also we'll give an ID, total cost. Alright, and then we say here total items, and then we have total cost as well, and total items, total cost, and total items. Alright, so what we're going to do here is the total items, total cost. Well, maybe we can give it should be separate functions, would be better. So we say order length, this remove, total items, total cost. So right now I will just comment out this, because we will not be using this for now. We're going to have only the order length. And then we say here total items, that's the ID. So we say here const or we can do it directly, so it's probably better. So we say here order array length equals, so we say here document, yeah, that's what we want to do, because we want to put it in the document. So document dot get element by ID, and then we have this, that is the total items. Then we say dot inner text equals order array. Yeah, so the amount of orders we have. Let's see if this works as what I'm expecting to do. At the moment I press on that, what happened? Oh, nothing is happening. Let's double check here. Why is this not? Oh, we're missing an argument. That's the only one. That doesn't matter so much. The only thing what does matter is, do we get the right item? Get document or get element inner text equals order array length. And the order array length, order array length is here, is in the this part here. It should see it. So why are you not showing total items? Alright, what I want to do then is here a console.log and just calculate here. What is the order array length? Going to the system here, refresh. Alright, sorry. The reason why it doesn't work, of course, very simple. It doesn't trigger yet. So we can do it here. On click. So in pizza, alright, so we have this one. And then we say here, I need to know what's the function. The function name is total items. So that is total items. Alright, so let's see if we press this now, it should work. There you are. Now we have it working. Of course, it doesn't work here yet. We have this other, you can see it doesn't work yet. Doesn't matter. This is the one we need. So you can see here, but it will of course calculate. We have to make eventually an object out of it. We have one, or we split them into 3 items. Yes, and we could basically do this as well if we want to do, instead of order array, we could do another array. Const order items array, where we just say only the item name. So basically that could be as well, so it would make more sense. So what we say here, eventually, yes, but eventually we can do it all in one, and we can break this down in every specific one. So we would do like this. It would be the item name order array, and then here what we also can do is, if we want to do, we create here a sum. Order, we have the order item array, then we have the order. Alright, so let's say we make another one, order item, we say here price, not prices, price. Alright, so make sure here, maybe if you want to read like this, order price array, so it's easy to read, and this will be item price name. And then what we even can do here is this one, we just need to sum this, then we basically have it. It's quite simple, quite straightforward things. I'm not sure if this works. Well, let's double check. What I can do is I will just copy this. Alright, we have this one here. Alright, so let's try with the sum array. What we're going to do is we're going to try to insert it here, the price. If that works, then I'm happy, because that was, if not, I have to search for the real method how to do it. But I assume it's sum array. So we say cost item here. If I go back here to the first pizza, and I'm going to add up another function. So basically on click we will trigger 3 different functions. So we have the on click order basket, oh no, sorry, here up. total items, and then the next function that we ask is the cost item. Let's do that, and then let's see. Oh, of course, doesn't work yet. Why? Because we didn't add up the cost item here. So we say here total cost. All right, cost item total costs, and then we say here array, not length. Array. Let's see. Dot sum. Inner text array order dot sum. All right, let's see. Order price. And what we also do is here we'll just adjust this one to 1 only. That makes more sense. Let's see. Alright, if I press this, 1 undefined, 2 undefined. Alright, doesn't allow. So let's search on that. So after some searching, I realized that some array that this is for PHP. Sorry, this is not allowed here. We have to use reduce. But if we look at it, let's look at this code here. We're just basically going to copy this piece of code. What we want to do here, and then we paste this in here. We have this is basically the order price array. All right, so we've got this, and what we're going to do here is getting the variable here. So you can see here what it does. It says here numbers dot reduce. All right, so we're going to use the numbers is this. So we say here reduce dot reduce, and then in here what we need to say here is a specific function. It's the sum array. That will be the function. So what is then the function on this sum array? So we say here function sum array, and then in here we just only do one thing. It says calculate the total comma num, and the num in this case is the number here. So we say here return, and then we return the total amount plus num, not minus. Minus is a -1. So once we have that, then we have the right amount here. All right, so let's see. I deleted something here. I just went, all right, this is not needed. So once we've got that, we probably have the right method here. Let's see. Refresh, and then we insert to press. All right, as you can see here now, that is correct because 1 is 499, and it starts to count up as we press. And then the only thing here, of course, is sometimes if you press a lot of these, you will get these digits because in JavaScript, basically, the way how numbers work, that is slightly different, or not even in computer, because probably you heard of how many 1 MB is 1000, or 1 gigabyte equals 1024 MB, and so that's why these are here. So we need to float them, remove the float, make them basically give them float numbers, but force them into the right amount. So what we can do here is the following here. Let's see here, equals float, parse float. We go to parse float, meaning that we're going to convert them into floating digits, comma, 2 decimal points at a time. Save this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it should maintain. Oh, it doesn't work as well, so we'll have to check on this. But however, we are now very close to this. And what I will do is in the next video, we'll just continue on with this, start to improve the design, get this in the scrolling part, match all of these together. Same here as well, so that all of these are now starting to work accordingly, so that this is all matching. Then we have here the total. But as you can see, we're getting very close. Then we need to have like maybe a text, a checkout. Basically, the checkout would create a screen where we can confirm the amount of pay, the paid amount. So for example, if we click on this, or the cashier press on checkout, you will see a calculator coming, or calculator screen coming, where we can put in the value, let's say $50, or the exact amount, or any amount that they paid, depending on, and then it would automatically calculate the changed amount that we need to give to the customer. And that's basically what we're going to do now. Or that will be basically in the next video, we're going to fine tune this. But we're getting very close to it. So I hope so far you're able to follow along with